Coming up on Nittany Game Week.
These are the things that we need to do to be a successful team. It's just a matter of, are we willing to do those things every day?
The men's lacrosse team outmuscles another highly ranked Big Ten opponent the way their rigorous early season schedule preps them for the best competition in the conference.
Having all these ranked opponents gives us an opportunity to play to our standard and show them what Penn State lacrosse is about.
Sometimes you learn more about a team from a loss than a victory. What a close setback to Maryland says about the women's lacrosse team and their quick rise on the national scene. And he dominates on the mat and now in the award selection process. How easily Mitchell Messenbrink wins the Hodge Trophy as the nation's best wrestler. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside Ryan Yee. April has arrived. Time to spring forward into the sports programs that are enjoying some success outside.
Yeah, plenty of lacrosse talk with both teams competing at elite levels. Opening drive includes a regional wrap-up for the men's hockey team, but begins with another big-time Big Ten victory for men's lax.
Settled in for the first time, and they score.
5 ranked opponents, 4 ranked wins this season. The latest, a dominant showing against Big Ten rival Ohio State.
One more shot, one more save for Preston Hawkins in his return home. Penn State takes down the 6th-ranked Buckeyes on the road.
I think anytime you get a win in the Big Ten, especially against Ohio State on the road, you feel pretty good about that. But you know, we didn't come here to win one game against a top team. We're trying to do it week in, week out, prepare every day like it's our last game.
Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2.
A mindset necessary amid a tough schedule.
We tried to put together a schedule that was going to prepare us for conference play. We just knew that, coming into the Big Ten gauntlet, our guys needed to be battle tested, so that was the goal in creating the schedule. Certainly it was a little daunting looking at it in January, but I think our guys prepared really hard. We're excited week to week to compete and play. I'm really proud of the way the guys just have continued to rally. They've gotten better every week, and through this last stretch of 4 or 5 weeks, I really feel like we're just starting to come into our own.
And this weekend, that challenge continues. A matchup with number 11 Johns Hopkins.
There's still 3 big games on our Big Ten schedule, Big Ten Conference, and so at the same time, we're just trying not to get too ahead of ourselves and recognize it was 60 minutes. It was a good win. Hopefully build some confidence, but also just gives us the realization that these are the things that we need to do to be a successful team. It's just a matter of, are we willing to do those things every day to get back to that situation and experience that we had in Ohio State, and that's to be determined so far.
For the players, it's an opportunity to test themselves against the best.
Iron sharpens iron. So you come out, you play these top-ranked teams, these very tough teams. It just helps out later down the season. In terms of just the toughness of the schedule, that's why you come to Penn State, is to play these types of teams. So we're really fortunate to be able to have a schedule like that.
That they take head-on together.
Leaning on each other, you're not going out there solo. You got about 50 other guys right behind you, cheering you on, supporting you through no matter highs or lows. So just relying on the guy next to you is something we preach heavily here, and it's strong here.
A schedule that fosters winning habits that they know will pay off in the long run.
If we can come out every day and practice those habits about being tough, being good teammates, but also being resilient and reliable to one another, then the results are going to take care of themselves. And I think that will be a sign for us as a staff, sign for us as a team that we know we're going in the right direction.
Over to women's lacrosse, let me tell you, it has been a ranked gauntlet for them as well. Number 19, Princeton, then number 6, Michigan. Up next, number 3, Maryland. A tough stretch for the team, who hope to bounce back in the win column against the Terps. A beautiful day in College Park, Maryland for a heavyweight ranked bout. The 21st ranked Nittany Lions go for the upset against the Terps. To the first quarter we go, down 1-0. The blue and white have it up top. Towards and watch lister Erica Ho drives the net, rips a shot, it's good. PSU knocks it up at 1. We fast forward to the 4th, and this one gets spicy. Down just 3 with 8 to go. Check out this goal. Freshman Roquette Allen from the left spins, falls, but still gets the shot off and finds the back of the net. A goal so good, we got to see it twice, and we slow it down for you to see it. I mean, what an effort by the freshman. The off-balance shot is a beauty. Penn State pulls within 2. 4 minutes left. Allen has it again. Same spot, same spin, but this time stays on her feet, scores another one. We got ourselves a 1-point game. Comeback is surmounting, but Maryland stays resilient, bleeds out the clock in the end. Penn State falls short, 14-13.
I think the Maryland game, our takeaway is it's a game of inches, and it's the little things like ground balls and clears that we have to clean up for us to be on the other side of the scoreboard and to win that game. But I mean, I think it's a journey, and we're improving every week, and I know we're excited to compete against Ohio State this weekend. I think the Big Ten is just so awesome. Our conference has amazing programs, and I think playing a better team makes you better, and I think having all these ranked opponents gives us an opportunity to play to our standard and show them what Penn State lacrosse is about.
Next up, an Easter weekend spent in Columbus. A Big Ten matchup with Ohio State set for this Sunday, and we'll hear more from Coach Trainer in just a bit in this week's Impact interview. This 1-goal loss to a quality team like the Terps might be the best indication how quickly the Nittany Lions have become relevant on the national scene, Todd.
Yeah, the men's hockey program is already there as a national contender. Take a Frozen Four appearance, add some premier talent to the mix, and the expectations are never higher entering this season. PSU ends the year a few games earlier than last season with a setback in the regional semifinals.
Penn State controlled play the first 20 minutes, but the last 40, it was UMD.
Difficult matchup in the regional semifinal with Minnesota Duluth. Winner go home is a tough format to decide the best hockey team. That's the way the NCAA tournament works. And on this night, the Nittany Lions come up a bit short. It's obvious from their reactions. These guys are going to miss hanging out and competing together, and that Penn State's program is at the next level.
You know, it's always tough when you leave and the season's over, but I can't, stop thinking. Number one is the seniors that we had. I mean, they've gone to the NCAA tournament 3 out of 4 years, which is just incredible. And when you think of when they all committed, I'm not sure they ever thought that would be possible.
Coach Godowski has supplemented the roster with some extremely talented underclassmen, and a handful of them have chosen to enter the pro ranks, including Matt DeMarsico, Charlie Serrato, Aiden Fink, and goalie Kevin Riedler. Others may follow. All of them have experienced success on the ice, along with an unforgettable outdoor game in front of 75,000 fans at Beaver Stadium. Penn State is now a place where the best young players target for their college development.
It was a fun year, man. This group is unbelievable. Obviously, we came up a little bit short. The group we got coming back, and whatever happens this offseason, we will be back.
We've made so many strides since making the Frozen Four last year. There's been a lot of learning in handling expectations. There's been a lot of learning in handling buzz and eyeballs, and there's been a lot of learning in terms of challenges with injuries and other events. It's tough because we lost right now, but I'm just so proud of the guys for grinding through all of it to get to the NCAA tournament, because this was a huge year for Penn State hockey in many ways, and a huge learning year in many ways.
Up next, spring football practice continues. One of the important messages sinking in from Coach Campbell: hold each other accountable. How they make good on this promise just ahead. More Nittany Game Week is on the way.
The opening drive is sponsored by R&R Express. Every shipment moved contributes to autism research and inclusion through the Excel Foundation. Learn more at wearerr.com.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R Express family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the sensory room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium and a special event sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose.
It Every week, our groundskeepers are meticulously mowing, painting, repairing any damage from the previous game in preparation for Saturday. Our contributions to the team are providing safe playing surfaces for the athletes to showcase their abilities on. There's a lot of history here. Being able to be a part of that has been incredibly special for me.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. A night that has become quite popular on campus for baseball fans, especially among the students, is Dollar Dog Night. The second of 5 was set for this week at Medler Field, but weather throwing a wrench into those plans. The game against UCF canceled. However, with at least 3 more still on the docket, as Nittany Game Week's Lauren Bradford tells us, it has become a night that the team always looks forward to.
Peanut butter and jelly, Batman and Robin, and hot dogs and baseball. Some things are just meant to go hand in hand. Penn State baseball takes full advantage of that perfect pairing with its ever-popular Dollar Dog Nights.
Dollar Dog Night, fan bases, great atmosphere, does lead to wins.
Dollar Dog Nights get crazy, and a big time play, a big time hit. You hear the fans erupt, and it's just like you kind of get chills.
The midweek promotion has quickly become a fan favorite, leading to a packed house at Medler Field.
I kind of just take it all in, kind of even pregame when they come in 20 minutes before the game, like I just look at them and be like, yeah, they're here for us. And that's also our motivation too, not trying to do too much, but trying to put on a show for these fans. And I think we do that.
Because once they get a taste of what the team has to offer, they won't be able to resist coming back for more.
The college baseball atmosphere that we're building here as Dollar Dog Night becomes such a big event. And then the goal going forward is now, like, what are we going to do on Fridays? What are we going to do on Saturdays to continue to have this atmosphere? Because it's such a fun place to watch a game.
And who knows, Dollar Dog Night might just change the future of Penn State baseball.
And when there's some kid who's a sophomore in high school who's watching the game, who sees what the atmosphere is, and then commits, and then, now 4 years from now, he's helping us win, right? It's a short-term impact and a long-term impact.
At the end of the day, a cheap hot dog hits the spot for just about anyone.
We actually have them post-game if there's some left over. I had one. They're pretty good, so I can't complain. I would, if I was a student, I would come here every night.
The goal is make sure we have enough people in the crowd that there's not left over to drop off for us post-game.
Lauren Bradford for Nittany Game Week.
Accountability. It's a word we often hear from everyone in the football program. It extends from the practice field to the classroom and even for meals. Spring workouts are vital for Coach Campbell and his staff. When it comes to implementing offensive and defensive systems, it's also important for establishing a new culture.
There you go.
I'm a huge person in relationships, who fits Penn State, who fits our culture. And so we're going to do it slow and right, and we're going to make sure any young man that we try to bring in here is the right fit for our football program.
Once they arrive, they'll see Coach Campbell and his staff do things a little differently. The morning workouts are now well documented. The meal accountability before and after the practice is just as important. Eating together tightens the friendships while they pack on some pounds and muscle.
Yeah, it's definitely a strategic plan that you have to have in place. You have to be pretty mature to wake up your stomach and get eating fast and not have too full of a stomach going out to practice. So there's a little bit of thought behind it, but I think it's an advantage once you get your process down.
Especially on days like today, all the meals are mandatory, which I think is great, especially just like hanging out with the guys in Greenberg and eating and just like chopping it up with each other is great. And plus, like, it's easy to put weight on when you're held accountable for it. So, that's been something that's helped me out.
Plenty of one-on-one challenges during practice makes the guys game ready. And for young skills players at a position like wide receiver, facing a talented and veteran secondary leads to dramatic improvement.
Who are they? What do they look like? And again, the secondary they're going against every day is outstanding. And so to be able to evaluate your football team, I don't know if you could ask for a better situation for those young guys to be able to step up and kind of show what they can do. And honestly, they've been impressive so far. And so it's great to see, and iron sharpens iron, and the opportunity to go against some of the best has been awesome for those guys.
Up next, our Impact interview with first-year women's lacrosse head coach Kayla Trainer. Her thoughts on the season thus far and the mindset she embraces for Big Ten play. Don't go anywhere. More Nittany Game Week after this quick break.
Good morning. Door install. Let's show these guys how it's done. What's up? Around here. Oh, no. All part of the plan. Taking doors off, putting doors back on. What a world. So I just gotta come back tomorrow and finish the trim.
There's a reason West Shore Home is America's most trusted home remodeler.
That looks good.
West Shore Home. Remodeling reimagined.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. A new year, a new team, a new conference for Penn State women's lacrosse head coach Kayla Trainer. No easy games when it comes to Big Ten conference play, most recently coming off a narrow 1-point loss to Maryland, who now sits number 1 in the country. The biggest takeaway from that game for coach, it's a game of fine margins. In this week's Impact interview, Trainer explains when it comes to the Big Ten, win or lose, there is always something to learn that will help her team down the road.
I love this team. I think it is a phenomenal group of young women and just great ambassadors of our program in this school. We started off and had a great stretch where we had 9 wins in a row. Last couple of games we've had a couple losses. Our focus for us is playing to our Penn State standard, regardless of the outcome of the game. So we had a tough game against Michigan. I think we bounced back. We had a good game against Maryland. A lot of credit to them. They're the new number 1 team in the country. We played with them the whole game, had many chances to win that game, but credit to them, they got it done. I think that fuels us as we go into a huge game for us this weekend as we go out to Ohio State.
And you talk about learning experiences, I talk about the team, but for you personally, obviously always a brand new experience when you're leading a new team. What have you maybe learned about your coaching throughout this season, or just Penn State as a whole, and how much fun has it been for you to kind of have this fresh start here in a new place?
Yeah, I'm just loving it. I love Penn State. I think it's such a unique school and atmosphere and environment and community. So I'm really just embracing it and loving it. I think the best thing for me right now is our coaching staff. I am not doing this alone. We have such an incredible staff, and from our director of ops, Katie Haas, our strength and conditioning coach, our coaching staff, and our associate head coach, Abby Rafis, who does so much for this program. And really, it's definitely a duo between me and her. And so, just to have such a great staff and to love what you're doing. It's been a real joy this season.
The privilege to get to coach some pretty top-tier talent, just recently named with Delaney being a 210 watch list. They're obviously coming in the season with Erica being there as well. Now having 2 on your roster, that's got to be pretty fun to know that you have that caliber on your roster that you get to work with.
Yeah, all these kids are just awesome. Delaney getting added to that list is incredible. You got Rock on Sports Center as the number 2 play. These are great kids that are just bought in, and our goal as a coaching staff is really just all these kids getting better every day and improving. And your example of Delaney, I think she's a great example of that, just really improving all season and getting better every day. And we're just super proud of them.
In terms of the balance of obviously your playing days, using that experience, and then obviously your coaching experience now being through where you have with this Penn State program, have you learned anything more about having that balance? Anything that you've learned more about kind of balancing the player in you and the coach in you?
I think that's the great thing about our coaching staff as well. And for me, we were all able to play at a really high level. They actually just posted something about the last World Cup team, and I was on that team. It's wow, that feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. So, I think it really helps me in coaching that I've played at a high level and have that experience, and I try to give them all the tricks and tips that I have to just improve their game individually and as a team. So yeah, certainly it helps.
And then just to close out the season here, obviously want to get back on the right foot here after a tough stretch, and that's going to continue with some tough opponents coming up. What are you kind of hoping for here down the home stretch that your team kind of shows you and gives you confidence that come playoff time and come elimination time that you guys are ready for the challenge?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, we are so one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. You know, when people talk about like what's happening after Ohio State, I'm like, I have no idea, because I'm just so focused on Ohio State right now. And we feel that way before every game. I mean, we play such a great schedule and we're in such a great conference that you cannot overlook any opponent that you have. You know, you got to be ready every day. And right now, all of our focus is just on Ohio State and really taking care of our Big Ten conference play.
Thank you, Coach Trainer, for the time, and make sure you go to nittany-game-week.com for the entire conversation along with other web-exclusive content like our Nittany Connect network of businesses and the Nittany Game Week podcast. Don't go anywhere. Still to come, when you thought the Penn State wrestling season cannot be any more impressive, one of their own is named best in the country by a landslide. We're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
Pocono Mountain's midweek deals. It's really like the thrill of the race.
Midweek deals are all the thrills you can handle with prices that won't spin you out of control.
Midweek deals give you less of a crowded field to enjoy your stay.
So visit the Pocono Mountains during the week.
You know, the real thrill of the race is winning.
Our midweek deals are a race you can always win. Find midweek deals at PoconoMountains.com.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R Express family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the sensory room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium and a special events sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. Dominance and Penn State wrestling go hand in hand, and that now includes the Dan Hodge Trophy given to the nation's top male college wrestler. Mitchell Messenbrink was named the award's winner this week after a season that included a 27-0 record, 8 pins, 11 technical falls, and 6 major decisions. 17 of those wins against wrestlers who were in the NCAA tournament. Impressive. Now, I mentioned dominance. Look no further than the voting. The junior 165-pounder received 61 of 65 first-place votes for the Hodge Trophy. The cherry on top also receiving nearly 70% of the fan vote as well. An iconic setting fitting for national champions. The women's volleyball team is set to play a match at Wrigley Field against Kentucky. The volleyball doubleheader includes 2 of the past 5 national champs in Kentucky and Penn State winning in 2024. The match will take place on September 6th. Nebraska and Missouri will be the other 2 teams taking part in the inaugural Big Ten SEC Challenge. And 2 weeks after the women's basketball team revealed their new head coach and former player Tanisha Wright, they add another former to their staff. Announced this week, all-time leading scorer for the Lady Lions, Kelly Mazzanti, is joining Wright as her assistant coach. When it comes to been there, done that, Mazzanti is just that, racking up an incredible career with Penn State between 2001 and 2004, beginning her coaching career in 2014 and now continuing it back home with Penn State. Let's now talk about some Penn State standout athletes in our Nittany Game Week Dean's List. We start with women's lacrosse, where Delaney Radin is joining Erica Ho as a Tewaaraton Watch Lister, the award going to the best women's college lacrosse player in the country. The junior attacker already set a new single-season career high in goals and assists. Over to track and field, 2 athletes to shout out. Women's sprinter Marie-Eloise Leclerc and men's sprinter Ajani Dwyer both were named Big Ten Track Athletes of the Week. Leclerc and Dwyer both hold the top 100-meter time in the country this season thus far. And lastly, 4 athletes to shout out on the men's gymnastics team. Lucas Sparrow, Exceli Karsikis, Landon Simpson, and Matthew Underhill, all named College Gymnastics Association regular season All-Americans. Congrats to this week's Dean's List honorees.
Thank you, Ryan. Don't forget, we bring PSU fans and alumni together with our Nittany Connect network and nittany-game-week.com. The idea is to partner with businesses that support our show and let our viewers know about their great products and professional services. And make sure to check out nittany-game-week.com for all of our web exclusive content, airtimes for all of our network of stations, previous episodes, and Impact interviews.
And when you visit the website, make sure to submit your tailgating and game picks from whichever sport you support.
We always finish with some pride picks, so don't be shy. Show us your spirit. For Ryan, I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.
Every week, our groundskeepers are meticulously mowing, painting, repairing any damage from the previous game in preparation for Saturday. Our contributions to the team are providing safe playing surfaces for the athletes to showcase their abilities on. There's a lot of history here. Being able to be a part of that has been incredibly special for me.